Germany is on the verge of war. Adolf Hitler is in power, and many assassination attempts were taken on his life.
In Berghof in 1935, Otto Strasser, head of a group to take over the Nazi government, set up a plan to kill Hitler while he was driven to his mountainous retreat in Berchtesgaden. The plan was to open fire on the back seat when the car slowed down to 15 miles per hour. Unfortunately, Hitler was the one driving and escaped alive. On November 8, 1939, in Munich, Germany, George Elser, who opposed Nazism, planted a bomb inside a beer cellar, which exploded a section of the beer hall where Hitler had just given a speech about invading Britain. Hitler boarded a train minutes before the bomb exploded. On March 21, 1943, Germany celebrated a holiday known as Heroes' Memorial Day, where Hitler was supposed to thoroughly inspect new weapons. Gersdorf, in charge of the event, planted a bomb in his pocket, planning to end Hitler with it. Hitler took much less time than the fuse permitted, and the bomb could not detonate, so the plot was thwarted.
All these attempts led to Operation Valkyrie, plot to kill Hitler. It's 1944 and it's the midst of World War II. Hitler has already killed hundreds of thousands of people and the world is in chaos. Friedrich Albrecht was the spark of the plan. He proposed a plan to Hitler that if Hitler got killed, the commander of the reserve army, Friedrich Fromm, would take over. Hitler approved of this plan in 1942. Albrecht then decided this was the way to take back Germany and assassinate Hitler. Henning von Tresckow was very familiar with trying to assassinate Hitler. He has failed many times and this was his last chance. He saw the spark Albrecht had lit and revised his plan to assassinate Hitler. He became the mastermind of Operation Valkyrie and recruited many members to join him. Tresckow even tried to get assigned to Hitler's house to get close to Hitler. Tresckow ended up making the bomb for Operation Valkyrie. Ludwig Beck was another conspirator in Operation Valkyrie. He was to have become head of state after Hitler was killed. He helped push forth Operation Valkyrie. Friedrich Fromm was the commander of the reserve army. He was always shaky on Operation Valkyrie. He only agreed to join the assassination if he became higher ranked in the German government. Claus von Stauffenberg was the most important part of Operation Valkyrie. His hate for Hitler grew when he saw the bloodshed and murder of the Jews in Russia. He tried recruiting people to help him move against Hitler. Stauffenberg agreed to join the German resistance and join up with Beck, Tresckow, Albrecht, and many others. He got promoted to colonel, which gave him direct access to Hitler's briefings. This gave him the chance to plant the bomb and assassinate Hitler.
All of these members came together at Stauffenberg's house, where they sought out what each of their responsibilities would be for the next 2 years. There were many aborted attempts between 1942 and 1944 between this conspiracy group of German officers. Each of these attempts made Friedrich Fromm less and less enthusiastic about assassinating Hitler, and even led him to shy away from the conspiracy. This may have pushed Operation Valkyrie off course, but it still went forward as planned. It is July 20th, 1944 in Wolfslayer, Poland. Wolfslayer is Hitler's first Eastern military headquarters, and he has been there since July 14th, 1944. The meeting was held in the briefing room, a small room with a large table and sets of chairs. Many high-ranking German officials were in this room, including Adolf Hitler. This gave Stauffenberg the perfect chance to set the bomb. Stauffenberg proceeded into the briefing room with his briefcase that functioned as a bomb, and then he left the room for a phone call. Operation Valkyrie was going right as planned. Stauffenberg then left the building and fled the area. Unknowingly, a bodyguard moved Stauffenberg's briefcase further away from Hitler. At 12:40, the bomb went off. Stauffenberg reported that Hitler had been killed, but Ulbricht knew otherwise. Still, they tried to convince Frederick Fromm to issue Operation Valkyrie and have him take control of Germany. He hesitated and waited till he had proof of Hitler's death. Ulbricht issued Operation Valkyrie with not the adequate authority. Ulbricht's staff then apprehended Fromm and started sending orders as head of the reserve army. Later, Hitler reported on the radio of his liveliness. Fromm then started to arrest members in the conspiracy, hoping to save himself from execution.
Fromm brought together a court-martial where he arrested Stauffenberg, Ulbricht, and many other conspirators. No trial was held. They were soon executed by a firing squad shortly after midnight in the courtyard of Bennerstrasse. Ludwig Beck was given the right to kill himself. Over 5,000 people were killed in the upcoming months. Some were even sent to concentration camps to live out a life of torture.
As a result of Operation Valkyrie, thousands were tortured and killed. Hitler's protection increased drastically after the plot failed. News broke out of the courage of the conspirators, and it was worldwide news. Today we remember Stauffenberg, Ulbricht, Beck, Tresckow, and many others with memorials. We remember their courage to fight for their rights as leaders of Germany. They took their responsibility as a nation to kill Hitler. They may have failed, but we can't forget their bravery.